ChronoSync version 12 brings several new features and enhancements, most of them centered around ChronoSync's scheduling capabilities. Here's a look at some of the notable highlights. First up, the ChronoSync organizer gets a new arrangement option, Next Scheduled Run. This arranges the tasks so that the ones that have been scheduled for automatic execution appear chronologically. The More Info popover will also show details about the next scheduled run. The Scheduled Task Manager window has some display and arrangement improvements. Each scheduled item now shows details about how it has been scheduled. You can sort the scheduled items by active status, name, and next run time. In Scheduler Preferences, we've added an optional reminder for when the scheduler has been disabled. This way, if you temporarily suspend the scheduler for any reason, you will be periodically reminded that it is disabled. This ensures that you won't miss any important scheduled sync and backup tasks that you rely on. Also in Scheduler Preferences, we now have custom subject fields for email and push notifications sent by the scheduler. Moving on to task scheduling, we've added a new simple interval, monthly, day of week. This allows you to easily designate an enumerated day to run a given task, such as the first Monday or second Tuesday of every month. We've also added a new advanced interval, yearly. This allows you to designate specific months of the year along with days of the month to run a given task. For instance, you can now easily specify the first day of each quarter, or even the last day of each quarter to run a task. Event-triggered scheduled tasks also receive some enhancements. First, the Run After ChronoSync Launches event now has a variable time delay before the task runs. This is most useful for when you've configured ChronoSync to launch after user login. One of the most exciting new features in ChronoSync 12 is an all-new event trigger, when invoked by remote user. This event can be specified when a sync task is connecting to a remote ChronoAgent computer. When selected, you specify a name that the remote user will use to trigger this task. The name appears in the remote user's ChronoAgent system menu. The user can manually invoke the sync task by choosing this name from the menu. The last scheduler-based enhancement in ChronoSync 12 is the ability to schedule validations. This new feature provides the option of running the validator and synchronizer sequentially. You can synchronize then validate, validate then synchronize, or just validate by itself. When validation has been selected, you can configure the parameters just like you can when editing a sync task. In addition to scheduler-based improvements, there are several other changes that have been made throughout the app. One of the more notable changes is the ability to force the use of ChronoSync's 2-pass synchronizer. Previously, the 2-pass synchronizer was only used when invoking a trial synchronization. Now you can force it to be used for all synchronizations. Doing so provides the benefit of a more accurate progress being presented during task execution. This is because the synchronizer will analyze all files before processing them, and thus can make a more accurate calculation of how much work is remaining. With the 2-pass synchronizer enabled, you also have the option of performing deletions first. This is useful when you have a space-constrained destination and need all deletions performed first to free up space for copied files. One last upcoming feature we'd like to highlight is the ability to locate files from within the Synchronizer task log window. By right-clicking a path name within the log, you can quickly locate the file pair responsible for that log entry in the Analyze panel of the sync task. This is very useful for investigating any problems that may be occurring within your sync task. ChronoSync version 12 is expected to become available in the early part of summer 2025.